Cipher of the prophet Zechariah, also called the Book of Prophet Zechariah. In the 8th month, in the 2nd year of Darius, came the word of Yahuwah unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, Yahuwah has been sore displeased with your fathers. Therefore say I unto them, Thus says Yahuwah Tessavaoth, Turn ye unto me, says Yahuwah Tessavaoth, and I will turn unto you, says Yahuwah Tessavaoth. Be ye not as your fathers, unto whom the former prophets have cried, saying, Thus says Yahuwah Tessavaoth, Turn ye now from your evil ways, and from your evil doings. But they did not hear, nor hearken unto me, says Yahuwah. Your fathers are they, and the prophets, do they live forever? But my words and my statutes which I commanded my servants the prophets, did they not take hold of your fathers? And they returned and said, like as Yahuwah Tessavaoth, though to do unto us according to our ways and according to our doings, so has dealt with us. Upon the 24th day of the 11th month, which is the month of Savat, in the year of Darius came the word of Yahuwah unto Zechariah, the son of Berechiah, the son of Iddo, the prophet, saying, I saw by night, and behold, a man riding upon a red horse, and he stood among the myrtle trees that were in the bottom, and behind him there were red horses speckled and white. Then said I, O my Lord, what are these? And the angel that talked with me said unto me, I will show you what these be. And the man that stood among the myrtle trees answered and said, These are they whom Yahuwah has sent to walk to and fro through the earth. And they answered the angel of Yahuwah that stood among the myrtle trees and said, We have walked to and fro through the earth, and behold, all the earth sits still and is at rest. Then the angel of Yahuwah answered and said, O Yahuwah Tessabaoth, how long will you not have mercy on Jerusalem and the cities of Yehuda, against which you have indignation these 70 years? And Yahuwah answered the angel, and walked with me with good words and comfortable words. So the angel that communed with me said unto me, Cry you, saying, Thus says Yahuwah Tessavaoth, I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Tession with a great jealousy, and I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Therefore, thus says Yahuwah, I am returned to Jerusalem with mercies. My house shall be built in it, says Yahuwah Tessavaoth, and a line shall be stretched upon forth to Jerusalem. Cry yet, saying, Thus says Yahuwah Tessavaoth, my cities through posterity shall yet be spread abroad, and Yahuwah shall yet comfort Tession, and shall yet choose Jerusalem. Then lifted I up my eyes, and saw, and behold 4 horns. And I said unto the angel that talked with me, What be these? And he answered me, These are the horns which have scattered Yehuda, Yisrael, and Jerusalem. And Yahweh showed me 4 carpenters. And said I, What come these to do? And he spoke, saying, These are the horns which have scattered Yehuda, so that no man did lift up his head. But these are come to fray them, and to cast out the horns of the other nations, which lifted up their horns over the land of Yehuda, to scatter it. I lifted up my eyes again, and looked, and behold a man with a measuring line in his hand. Then said I, Whither do you go? And he said unto me, To measure Jerusalem, to see what is the breadth thereof, and what is the length thereof. And behold, the angel that talked with me went forth, and another angel went out to meet him. and said unto him, Run, speak to this young man, saying, Jerusalem shall be inhabited as towns without walls for the multitude of men and cattle therein. For I, says Yahweh, will be unto her a wall of fire around about, and will be the glory in the midst of her. Alas, alas, come forth and flee from the land of the north, says Yahweh. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of the heavens, says Yahweh. Deliver yourself, O Tzion, that dwell with the daughter of Babel. For these, says Yahweh Tsabaoth, after the glory has he sent me unto a nation which spoiled you. For he that touches you touches the apple of his eye. For behold, I will shake my hand upon them, and they shall be spoiled to the servants, and yet shall know that Yahweh Tsabaoth has sent me. Sing and rejoice, O daughter of Tzion, for lo, I come, and I will dwell in the midst of you, says Yahweh. And many nations shall be joined to El Yahuwah in that day, and shall be my people, and I will dwell in the midst of you. And you shall know that Yahweh Tsabaoth has sent me unto you, and Yahweh shall inherit Yehudah his portion of the Holy Land, and shall choose Jerusalem again. Be silent, O all flesh, before Yahweh, for he is raised up out of his holy habitation. And he showed me Yahusha, the high priest, standing before the angel of Yahuwah, and Satan standing at his right hand to accuse him. And Yahuwah said unto Satan, Yahuwah rebuke you, O Satan, even Yahuwah that has chosen Jerusalem rebuke you. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Yahusha was clothed with filthy garments, and stood before the angel. And he answered and spoke unto those that stood before him, saying, Take away the filthy garments from him. And unto him he said, Behold, I have caused your iniquity to pass from you, and I will clothe you with change of raiment. And I said, Let them set a fair turban upon his head. So they set a fair turban upon his head, and clothed him with garments. And the angel of Yahweh stood by, and the angel of Yahweh protested unto Yahusha, saying, Thus says Yahweh Tsabaoth, if you will walk in my ways, and if you will guard my watch, then you shall also judge my house, and shall also guard my courts. And I will give you places to walk among these that stand by. Hear now, O Yahusha, the high priest, you and your fellows that sit before you, for they are men wondered at. For behold, I will bring forth my servant, the branch. For behold, the stone that I have laid before Yahusha. Upon one stone shall 7 eyes. Behold, I will engrave the graving thereof, says Yahweh Tsabaoth, and I will remove the iniquity of the land in one day. In that day, says Yahuwah Tsabaoth, shall ye every man call his neighbor under the vine and under the fig tree? And the angel that talked with me came again and waked me, as a man that is wakened out of his sleep, and said unto me, What do you see? And I said, I have looked, and behold, a menorah, all of gold, with a bowl upon the top of it, and his 7 lamps thereon, and 7 pipes to the 7 lamps which were upon the top thereof, and 2 olive trees by it, one upon the right side of the bowl, and the other upon the left side thereof. So I answered and spoke unto the angel that talked with me, saying, What are these, my Lord? Then the angel that talked with me answered and said unto me, Know you not what these be? And I said, No, my Lord. Then he answered and spoke unto me, saying, This is the word of Yahuwah unto Zerubbabel, saying, Not by might nor by power, but by my ruach, says Yahuwah Tsabaoth. Who are you, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel you shall be come to a plain, and he shall bring forth the headstone thereof with shoutings, crying, Grace, grace unto it. Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, The hands of Zerubbabel have laid the foundation of his house. His hand shall also finish it. And you shall know that Yahuwah Tessabaoth has sent me unto you. For who has despised the day of small things? For they shall rejoice and shall see the plummet in the hand of Zerubbabel with these seven. They are the eyes of Yahuwah, which run to and fro through the whole earth. Then answered I and said unto him, What are these two olive trees upon the right side of the menorah, and upon the left side thereof? And I answered again and said unto him, What be these two olive branches, which through the two golden pipes empty the golden oil out of themselves? And he answered me and said, Know you not what these be? And I said, No, my Lord. Then he said, These are the two anointed ones that stand by Adonai of the whole earth. Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What do you see? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goes forth over the whole face of the earth. For everyone that steals is innocent according to her, and everyone that swears is innocent according to her. I will bring her forth, says Yahuwah Tessabaoth, and she shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that swears falsely by my name. And she shall remain in the midst of the house, and she shall finish it, its timber, its stones. Then the angel that talked with me went forth and said unto me, Lift up now your eyes, and see what is this that goes forth. And I said, What is it? And he said, This is the measure that goes forth. He said, Moreover, this is how they appear through all the earth. And behold, there was lifted up a disk of lead, and there a fire sits in the midst of the measure. And he said, This is wickedness. And he said, and he cast it into the midst of the measure, and he casteth the weight of the lead upon the mouth thereof. Then lifted I my eyes and looked, and behold, there came out two of them, the wind in their wings, for they had wings like the wings of a stork, and they lifted up their measure between the earth and the heavens. Then said I to the angel that talked with me, Where are they causing the measures to go? And he said unto me, To build it a house in the land of Shinar, and it shall be established and set there upon their own base. And I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, there came 4 chariots from between the 2 mountains, and the mountains were mountains of brass. In the first chariot were red horses, and in the second chariot were black horses, and in the third chariot white horses, and the fourth chariot grizzled and bay horses. Then I answered, and I said unto the angel that talked with me, What are these, my Lord? And the angel answered and said unto me, These are the 4 ruachoth of the heavens which go forth from standing before Adonai of all the earth. The black horse, which are therein to go forth into the north country, and the white go forth after them. Then the grizzled go towards the south country. And the bay went forth, and sought to go out, that they might walk to and fro through the earth. And he said, Get you hence, walk to and fro through the earth. So they walked to and fro through the earth. Then cried he upon me, and spoke unto me, saying, Behold, these that go forward to the north country have quieted my ruach in the north country. And the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Take of them, of the captivity, even the Chaldei, of Toviyahu, and of Yetayah, which are come from Babel, and come you the same day, and go into the house of Yoshahu, the son of Tessaphaneyahu, Then take silver and gold, and make crowns, and set them upon the head of Yahusha, the son of Yahatzaddik, the high priest, and speak unto him, saying, Thus speaks Yahuwah Tesavaoth, saying, Behold, the man whose name is Branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build at the temple of Yahuwah. Even he shall build a temple of Yahuwah, and he shall bear the glory, and shall sit and rule upon his throne. And he shall be a priest upon his throne, and counsel of peace shall be between them. And the crown shall be to Helm, and to Toviyahu, and to Yadayah, and to Ken, the son of Tesaphanyahu, for a memorial of the temple of Yahuwah. And they that are far off shall come and build a temple of Yahuwah. And ye shall know that Yahuwah Tesavaoth has sent me unto you. And this shall come to pass, if ye will diligently obey the voice of Yahuwah Elohim. And it came to pass in the 4th year of the king Dariavish, that the word of Yahuwah came into Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Keklev, when they had sent unto the house of El Sharester and Rechem Melech and their men to pray before Yahuwah, and to speak unto the priests which were in the house of Yahuwah Tesavaoth, and to the prophets, saying, Should I weep in the 5th month, separating myself as I have done these so many years? Then came the word of Yahuwah Tesavaoth unto me, saying, Speak unto all the people of the land, and to the priests, saying, When ye fasted and mourned in the 5th and the 7th month, even those 70 years, did ye at all fast unto me, even to me? And when ye did eat, and when ye did drink, did not ye eat for yourselves, and drink for yourselves? Should you not hear the words which Yahuwah has cried by former prophets, when Jerusalem was inhabited and in prosperity, and the cities thereof round about her, when men inhabited the Negev and the plain? And the word of Yahuwah came unto Zechariah, saying, Thus says Yahuwah Tesavaoth, saying, Execute true judgment, and show mercy and compassions every man at his brother, and oppress not the widow, nor the fatherless stranger, nor the poor, and let none of you imagine evil against his brother in your heart. But they refused to hearken, and pulled away the shoulder, and stopped their ears, that they should not hear. Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone, lest they should hear at the Torah, at the words which Yahuwah Tesavaoth has sent in his Ruach by the former prophets. Therefore came a great wrath of Yahuwah Tesavaoth. Therefore it is come to pass that as he cried, and they would not hear, so they cried, and I would not hear, says Yahuwah Tesavaoth. But I scattered them with a whirlwind among all the nations whom they knew not. Thus the land was desolate after them, that no man passed through, nor returned, for they laid the pleasant land desolate. Again the word of Yahuwah Tesavaoth came to me, saying, Thus says Yahuwah Tesavaoth, I was jealous for Tession with great jealousy, and I was jealous for her with great fury. Thus says Yahweh, I am returned to Tession, and I will dwell in the midst of Jerusalem, and Jerusalem shall be called a city of truth, and the mountain of Yahuwah Tesavaoth, the holy mountain. Thus says Yahuwah Tesavaoth, there shall yet old men and old women dwell in the streets of Jerusalem, and every man with his staff in his hand for very age. And the streets of the city shall be full of boys and girls playing in the streets thereof. Thus says Yahuwah Tesavaoth, if it be marvelous in the eyes of the remnant of his people in these days, should it also be marvelous in my eyes, says Yahuwah Tesavaoth. Thus says Yahuwah Tesavaoth, behold, I will save my people from the east country and from the west country, and I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem. And they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim in truth and in righteousness. Thus says Yahweh Tessabaoth, let your hands be strong. Ye that hear in these days words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of Yahuwah Tessabaoth was laid, that the temple might be built. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction. For I set all men every one against his neighbor. But now I will not be unto the remnant of his people as in the former days, says Yahweh Tessabaoth. For the seed shall prosper, the vine shall give her fruit, the ground shall give her increase, and the heavens shall give their due. And I will cause the remnant of his people to possess all these things. And it shall come to pass that as ye were a curse among the heathen, O house of Yehuda, the house of Yasrael, so I will save you, and ye shall be a blessing. Fear not, but let your hands be strong. For thus says Yahuwah Tessabaoth, as I thought to punish you when your fathers provoked me to wrath, saying, Yahuwah Tessabaoth, and I repented not, so again have I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem, and unto the house of Yehuda. Fear ye not, these are the things that ye shall do. Speak ye every man the truth to his neighbor. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates. And let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against his neighbor. And love no false oath. For all these things that I hate, says Yahweh Tessabaoth. And the word of Yahuwah Tessabaoth came unto me, saying, thus says Yahuwah Tessabaoth, the fast of the 4th month, and the fast of the 5th, and the fast of the 7th, the fast of the 10th, shall be to the house of Yehuda joy and gladness and cheerful feasts. Therefore love the truth and peace. Thus is Yahuwah Tessabaoth. It shall yet come to pass that there shall come people, and the inhabitants of many cities, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before Yahuwah, and to seek Yahuwah Tessabaoth. I will go also. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek Yahuwah Tessabaoth in Jerusalem, and to pray before Yahuwah. Thus says Yahuwah Tessabaoth, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of all nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that the Yehudi says, we will go with you, for we have heard that Elohim is with you. The burden of the word of Yahweh in the land of Hadrach and Damascus shall be the rest thereof. Then the eyes of man, as of all the tribes of Yisrael, shall be towards Yahuwah, and Chamath also shall border thereby Tesor and Tesadon. Though it be very wise, and Tesor did build herself a strong, and heaped up silver as the dust, and fine gold as the mire of the streets. Behold, Adonai will cast her out, and he will smite her power in the sea, and she shall be devoured with fire. Ashkelon shall see it, and fear. Gaza also shall see it, and be very sorrowful, and Ekron, for her expectation, shall be ashamed, and the king shall perish from Gaza, and Ashkelon shall not be inhabited, and the bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistine, and I will take away his blood out of his mouth, and his abominations from between his teeth. He that remains, even he shall be for our Elohim, and he shall be as a governor in Yehuda and Ekron, as a Yevusity, and I will encamp about my house because of the army, because of him that passes by, and because of him that returns, and no oppressor shall pass through them any more. For now have I seen with my eyes. Rejoice greatly, O daughter of Tession. Shout, O daughter of Jerusalem. Behold, your king comes unto you. He is just and having salvation, lowly and riding upon an ass and upon a colt, the foal of an ass. And I will cut off the chariot from Ephraim and the horse from Jerusalem, and the battle bow shall be cut off, and he shall speak peace unto the heathen, and his dominion shall be from the sea even to the sea, and from the river even to the ends of the earth. As for you also, by the blood of your covenant, I have set forth your prisoners out of the pit wherein is no water. Turn you to the stronghold, ye prisoners of hope. Even today do I declare that I will render double unto you. When I have bent Yehudah for me, filled the bow with Ephraim, and raised up your sons, O Tessian, against your sons, O Yavan, and have made you as the sword of a mighty man. And Yahuwah shall be seen over them, and his arrow shall go forth as the lightning. And Adonai Yahuwah shall blow the shofar, and shall go with whirlwinds of the south. Yahuwah Tessabaoth shall defend them, and they shall devour and subdue with slinging stones, and they shall drink and make a noise as through wine, and they shall be filled like bowls, and as the corners of the altar. And Yahuwah Elohim shall save them in the day, the flocks of his people, for they shall be as the stones of a crown, lifted up as an ensign upon his land. For how great is the goodness, and how great is his beauty! Grain shall make the young men cheerful, and new wine, and the maids. Ask ye, O Yahuwah, rain in the time of the latter rain. So Yahuwah shall make bright clouds, and give them showers of rain to every one grass in the fields. For the teraphim have spoken vainly, and the diviners have seen a lie, and have told false dreams. They comfort in vain. Therefore they went their way as a flock. They were troubled because there was no shepherd. My anger was kindled against the shepherds, and I pushed the goats, for Yahuwah Tessavoth has visited his flock, the house of Yehudah, and has made them as his goodly horse in the battle. Out of him came forth the corner, and out of him the nail, out of him the battle bow, out of him every oppressor together. And they shall be as mighty men which tread down their enemies in the mire of the streets in the battle, and they shall fight because Yahuwah is with them. And the riders on horses shall be confounded. And I will strengthen at the house of Yehudah, and I will save at the house of Joseph. And I will bring them again to their place, for I have mercy upon them, and they shall be as though I had not cast them off. For I am Yahuwah Elohim, and I will hear them, and they of Ephraim shall be like a mighty man, and their heart shall rejoice as the wine. Yet their children shall see it, and be glad. Their heart shall rejoice in Yahuwah. I will hiss for them and gather them, for I have redeemed them, and they shall increase as they have increased. And I will sow them among the people, and they shall remember me in far countries, and they shall live with their children, and turn again. I will bring them again also out of the land of Mitzrayim, and gather them out of Ashur. And I will bring them into the land of Gilad and Lebanon, and places shall not be found for them. And he shall pass through the sea with affliction, and shall smite the waves in the sea, and all the depths of the rivers shall dry up, and the pride of Ashur shall be brought down, and the scepter of Mitzrayim shall depart away. And I will strengthen them in Yahuwah, and they will walk up and down in his name, says Yahuwah. Open your doors, O Lebanon, that the fire may devour your cedars. Howl, fir trees, for the cedar is fallen, because the mighty are spoiled. Howl, O ye oaks of Bashan, for the forest of the vintage is come down. There is a voice in the howling of the shepherds, for the glory is spoiled. A voice of a roaring of lions, and for the pride of Yarden is spoiled. Thus says Yahweh Elohai, feed the flock of the slaughters, whose possessors slay them, and hold them not guilty, and they that sell them, blessed be Yahweh. For I am rich, and for their own shepherds pity them not. For I will no more pity the inhabitants of the land, says Yahweh. But lo, I will deliver the men every one unto his neighbor's hand, and unto the hand of his king, and they shall smite the land out of their hand, and I will not deliver them. And I will feed the flock of slaughter, even you, O poor of the flock. And I took unto me 2 staves. The one I called beauty, and the other I called bands. And I fed the flock. 3 shepherds also I cut off in 1 month. And my soul loathed them, and their soul also abhorred me. Then said I will not feed you. That dies, let it die, and that is to be cut off, let it be cut off, and let the rest eat every one the flesh of another. And I took my staff, even beauty, and cut it asunder, that I might break my covenant, which I had cut with all the people. And it was broken in that day, and so the poor of the flock that waited upon me knew that it was the word of Yahweh. And I said unto them, if you think good, give me my price, and if not, forbear. So they weighed for my price 30 pieces of silver. And Yahweh said unto me, cast it unto the potter, a goodly price that I was prized at of them. And I took the 30 pieces of silver, and cast them into the potter in the house of Yahweh. Then I cut asunder my other staff, even bands, that I might break the brotherhood between Yehuda and Yisrael. And Yahweh said unto me, take unto you yet the instruments of the foolish shepherd, for lo, I will raise up a shepherd in the land, which shall not visit those that be cut off, neither shall seek the young one, nor heal that is broken, nor feed that stands still. But he shall eat the flesh of the fat, and tear the claws in pieces. Woe to the idle shepherd that leaves the flock! The sword shall be upon his arm, and upon his right eye. His arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. The burden of the word of Yahweh. For Yisrael, says Yahuwah, which stretches forth the heavens, and lays the foundations of the earth, and forms the ruach of men within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in the siege both against Yehuda and against Jerusalem. And in that day will I make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all peoples. All that burden themselves with it shall be cut into pieces, though all the people of the earth be gathered together against it. In that day, says Yahweh, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and his rider with madness, and I will open up my eyes upon the house of Yehuda, and I will smite every horse of the people with blindness. And the governors of Yehuda shall say in their heart, the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall be my strength, and Yahuwah Tesapaoth Elohim. In that day will I make the governors of Yehuda like a hearth of fire among the wood, and like a torch of fire in the sheaf, and they shall devour all of the people round about on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in her own place, even in Jerusalem. Yahuwah also shall save the tents of Yehuda first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Yehuda. In that day shall Yahuwah defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David. The house of David shall be as Elohim, as the angel of Yahuwah before them. And it shall come to pass in those days that I will seek to destroy all the nations that come against Jerusalem. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem and the Ruach Henvatakaninim, and they shall look upon me, whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him, as one mourns for his Yakad, and shall be in bitterness for him, as for one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. And that day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of Hadadrimmon in the land of Megiddo, and the land shall mourn every family apart, the family of the house of David apart, and their women apart, and the family of the house of Nathan apart, and their women apart, the family of the house of Levi apart, and their women apart, the family of Shimei apart, and their women apart, all the families that remain, every family apart, and their women apart. In that day there shall be a fountain opened into the house of David and into the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. And it shall come to pass in that day, says Yahuwah Tessavaoth, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land, and they shall no more be remembered. And I also will cause the prophet and the unclean Ruach to pass out of the land. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begot him shall say unto him, You shall not live, for you speak lies in the name of Yahuwah. And his father and his mother that begot him shall trust them through when he prophesies. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophet shall be ashamed every one in his vision. When he has prophesied, neither shall say, Wear a rough garment to deceive. But he shall say, I am no prophet, I am a husbandman. For man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. And one shall say unto him, What are these wounds in your hands? Then he shall answer, Those with which I was wounded in the house of my friends. Awake, O sword, against the shepherd, and against the man that is my fellow, says Yahuwah Tessavaoth. Smite the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered, and I will turn my hand upon the little ones. And it shall come to pass that in the days of the land, says Yahuwah, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein, and I will bring the third part through the fire, and I will refine them as the silver is refined, and I will try them as gold is tried, and they shall call upon his name, and I will hear them. I will say, It is my people, and they shall say, Yahuwah Elohai, behold, the day of Yahuwah comes, and your spoils shall be divided in the midst of you. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the house rifled, and the woman ravaged, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the remnant of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall Yahuwah go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of the battle. And his feet shall stand in the day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east. And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof towards the east and towards the west. And there shall be a great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove towards the north, and half of it towards Negev. And ye shall flee into the valley of the mountains, for the valley of the mountains shall reach unto Atzel. Yea, ye shall flee like as ye fled from before the earthquake in the days of Uzziah, king of Yehudah. And Yahweh Elohai shall come, and all the Kodashim with you. And it shall come to pass in that day that the light shall not be clear nor dark, but it shall be one day which shall be known to Yahweh, not day nor night. But it shall come to pass that at evening time it shall be light. And it shall be in that day that living waters shall go out of Jerusalem, half of them towards the former sea, and half of them towards the hinder sea. In summer and in winter shall it be, and Yahweh shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Yahweh, and his name one. All the land shall be turned as a plain from Geba to Rimmon, south of Jerusalem, and it shall be lifted up and inhabited in their place, from Benjamin's gate unto the place of the first gate, unto the corner gate, and from the tower of Chanel unto the king's winepresses. And men shall dwell in it, and there shall be no more utter destruction, but Jerusalem shall be safely inhabited. And this shall be the plague wherein Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall be consumed away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And it shall come to pass in that day that a great tumult from Yahweh shall be among them, and they shall lay hold every one on his hand of his neighbor, and his hand shall rise up against the hand of his neighbor. And Yahweh also shall fight at Jerusalem, and wealth of all the heathen round about shall be gathered together, gold and silver and apparel in great abundance. And so shall be the plague of the horse, of the mule, of the camel, and of the ass, and of all the beasts that shall be in the tents, as this plague. And it shall come to pass that every one that is left of all the nations which came against Jerusalem shall even go up from year to year to worship the King, Yahweh Tessabaoth, and to keep at the feast of Succoth. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the King, Yahweh Tessabaoth, even upon them shall be no rain. And if the family of Mitzrayim go not up and come not, that have no rain, there shall be plague, wherein Yahweh will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the feast of Succoth. There shall be the punishment of the Mitzrayim, and the punishment of all the nations that come not up to keep the feast of Succoth. In that day shall there be upon the bells of the horses, Kodesh la Yahweh, and the post in Yahweh's house shall be like the bowls before the altar. Yea, every pot of Jerusalem and Yehudah shall be holiness unto Yahweh Tessabaoth, and all that sacrifices shall come and take of them, and see it thereon. And in that day there shall be no more Keniani in the house of Yahweh Tessabaoth.